What's going on, everybody? Fluffy Cow back with another episode from the Let's Play world. Last episode, we built this adorable little barn, and it seems that the mushrooms I decided to plant have started to grow. So let's clean those up a little bit. I would love to keep the mushrooms in here because I think they kind of really add to the vibe of like it's getting a bit muddy and just like overgrown in here a little bit, but if they're going to keep expanding like this, I don't know if we can keep them in here. Unless, of course, we need a mushroom farm, in which case we're absolutely keeping them in here. In between episodes, I've been hard at work measuring out and building and remeasuring out and rebuilding the new walls and towers that are going to be going into the castle. There's no texture on anything right now that wasn't already textured previously. I've decided it's going to be easier if I just build it all out of just straight stone bricks, and then later on we can go back through and texture everything. There used to be a little bit of a smelter system over there. I have since moved it over to here. That is not what we are doing today. Before we get into what we're doing today, the most astute among you may have already noticed something is different about my hotbar. And that's right. My pickaxe is no longer made out of netherite. And to explain why my pickaxe is no longer made out of netherite, we need to go on a little bit of a journey into the past, to when I decided to fight a wither. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. If not, this is going to be a little awkward. It was at this moment that I did not realize just how badly I'd messed up. And this is a little awkward. Luckily, I don't have anything built out here, so this is just going to be fighting it. Just fighting may not have been a very accurate statement at the time. To make a long story short, this was a very hard fight for me. I tried many tactics. I tried shooting it from below. I tried running away, shooting it from above, I even tried some drive-by tactics. But nothing I did seemed to be working. Then an idea came to me. Did I see that right? He can't break these blocks? The wither seemed to be struggling to break the end stone, so I built a little shelter to hide under and got to work. Built a little wither catcher. Maybe. And you think he'll just like sit there as I stand here sort of thing? Shot after shot. Slowly its health started to decrease. But this was my fatal mistake. It only kind of worked. The shelter made me feel safe. It made me feel invincible. Right up until it got me killed. Upon returning, I found only a single flower where all my items should have been. Did he just blow up all of my things? Like all of them? For those who don't understand, allow me to explain. The wither can shoot multiple head-shaped projectiles, sometimes in quick succession. And this is exactly what happened here. The first head killed me. The second one followed mere moments later, blowing up all of my stuff along with it. From there, I only had one option. It's time to gear back up and deal with it properly. So, after a short grind later, I had re-geared up, gotten some potions and a couple of milk buckets, and I went back. And this second time, the wither did not stand a chance. Come on. Almost phase 2. I just can't aim. There we go. And I don't mind withering away there. It is crazy just how much of a difference a few potions and some milk buckets can make for this fight. And that, my dear viewers, is the story of how I lost not just my netherite pickaxe, but all of my equipment. Luckily, the grind was not too bad to get it all back, and I have since recovered, well, not recovered, but I do have an entire new set of gear with all the enchantments I could ever want on it. I did end up going back to the branding iron sword that I had previously made. I'm glad that ordeal is completely finished with now. So, what are we doing in today's episode? Well, we're playing with cows, as promised last episode. What I want to do is I want to take some of the cows that are in this hole right here, and I want to put them right around in here. Now, there's a few issues with just throwing cows into a wheat field, and it's taken me quite a bit of time to figure out how to effectively put cows into a wheat field while mitigating those issues. So let's quickly jump over to a creative world where I can really walk you through all the trials and tribulations I've gone through with just trying to make this work and also still look good. So I'm over in my creative world now, and let's start by answering a few of the most obvious questions, such as, why can't I just put a few cows into the wheat field and call it a day? Well, cows and other entities tend to wander uphill, as this cow fails to demonstrate. The reason for this is incredibly technical, and I'm not going to go into it. I know there are videos on YouTube explaining this. If you're interested, I suggest you go look for one of those. Next up, we have the fact that most entities are able to break wheat whenever they jump or drop onto it. This includes players, entities such as cows, and even TNT. So, what sort of solutions do we have for these issues? Well, the first solution I came up with, most obviously, just put a fence down. There are two different ways you can place the fence. The first is directly on the dirt, which is going to leave this kind of really hideous line of dirt going through the entire wheat field. And the second is to leave it hanging like a block above the wheat, as I have over here, which is also something I didn't really like, and I don't think having a bunch of these fences running throughout the entire wheat field is going to look very nice. It also does not solve the issue of keeping cows on lower elevations as opposed to them preferring to be up on a higher elevation. So, fences are a non-starter. What else do we have? So, the next thought was, let's find a very transparent, minimal looking block that we could stick in here. And I came to the conclusion that yellow stained glass panes could be very useful, especially if you put them in this sort of checkerboardy pattern. You don't get any big long lines of glass like this that are gonna just look kind of disgusting from any angle. From like up high, especially far away, you can even like barely see it, but it didn't quite sit right with me for a few reasons. The first of which, obviously, you have to do this checkerboardy pattern, and if you miss even a single one, all the cows are going to spot that, and they're all going to escape, and it's just going to be a big mess, and I did not want to deal with that kind of a mess. This also does not actually deal with the fact that cows and other entities want to go up hills. This was one of the tests I did. I just threw a bunch of cows into the pen like this, and as you can see, they're all crowding around this area and over along this border. There's like 2 or 3 cows that actually like to hang out over on this lower section. That is because all of these cows believe that they can make it up into this area, and they're trying to pathfind up there through these stained glass panes. I did not like the look of this. I don't think this looks good for a herd of cows, so this is also a non-starter. After a lot of time spent searching around, I came to the conclusion that leads were going to be the route to go. So with leads, you can obviously attach them to animals, and then you can attach them to fence posts. But again, I didn't want a lot of just random fence posts with cows being leaded to them, attached just at random in the field. I didn't think that was going to look good. So what else can we do with leads? Well, this is the part that really took me a long time to realize. If we take a boat, we can actually attach this lead to the boat. No, not like that. We can attach that lead to the boat. Now this can give us a couple of options for things to do. And behind me, you can see a bunch of the experiments that I tried. So I suppose I'll mention that just ignore all the mobs in the back and the creeper in the boat. I initially didn't realize that you can actually just put a lead directly on a boat, and so I had a cow in a boat that was attached to another cow up here. And essentially, I was trying to just move the cows and their boats around using water and hoping that that would kind of generate some natural looking movement. It ended up looking way too floaty, and like, you know, that cow just walked backwards and that cow's walking sideways. It just doesn't look good. And so I had to find something better. So after trying to do random movement with like, I got like chickens walking over pressure plates to trigger dispensers with buckets of water in them, it just wasn't looking good, and it wasn't working out how I hoped it was. So after that, I started thinking, well, what if we had it go on a set path? So I made this little loop, and I just wanted to see what that would look like. And, you know, the cows do kind of wander a little bit. It looks all right, but every now and then, like, you know, these cows are once again walking backwards. That doesn't look good to me. So I didn't want to use this solution. I needed to find something better. A lot of trial and error and a lot of searching. I finally came upon this solution, which I gotta be completely honest with you guys. I cannot get this demo to work properly right now. You're just gonna have to trust me that this looks better in practice. Notice how the cows aren't really moving. Like, they got a little bit of movement, and that's the jankiness that I'm talking about right now. You're just gonna have to trust me that it looks better in practice again. What I've done here is I've actually attached the cows to iron golems in a 1-to-1. Because if you attach multiple cows to one iron golem, they just, like, the cows face each other, and it just looks even worse than anything else. But these iron golems are just trying to get to a zombie, and this is the part that's not working out too well, because I can't, like, no matter what I try and do, they all just want to look at the same zombie. And so they're all just, like, fighting to get as close as possible to it. But you put the zombie in a space where it cannot be reached by the golems. And every now and then, the golem AI will lose interest in the zombie it's trying to get to if it can't reach it. And so you'll get little packs of cows forming up on the surface as iron golems start to wander between different zombies in the area. And this creates a rather convincing, if I do say so myself, a rather convincing herd of cows that mostly don't move a whole lot, as cows tend to not move. And then every now and then one will walk over to a new group and hang out with that group. Then cows will be cows, as I understand cows. And so that's the solution we're going with to this cow problem. So with the solution in hand, it's time to actually go and build it in the world. So now that I've explained all the ins and outs and pros and cons of what I'm about to do, let's head over to the space. I've been harvesting a little bit of wheat recently. And let's just take a look at this space. I'm going to be doing it right in here. We'll even go free cam for a second. Just in this little area right here. We're going to have to start, obviously, by digging out a hole. And then I'll just slowly work on it from there. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to be getting the zombies down here necessarily, but that's an issue we will figure out after the hole has been dug. So we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is where we need to start digging this out. Now the hardest part is that I want this to go exactly along these border walls right here, which means it's going to be a lot of like, you know, dig 2 blocks, go like this, go free cam, come up and go, okay, now I need to go forward 8 blocks and then over 1 and then over 1. So instead of boring you guys with all that, I'm just gonna start a flashback and we'll just get to work. So this is the space. Honestly, the next step is to get the zombies in here. And I don't really have a solid plan for how to do that. So there's a good chance I'm just gonna like dig off in this direction a little ways and make a little spawning platform for them. And then just really hope that there's no creepers or skeletons that spawn in there or anything. Yeah, I'll be honest, I do not have a plan for this next part. I'm just really gonna wing it and just hope a creeper doesn't explode or that a skeleton doesn't kill me and steal all my stuff. So we'll be back when I figured it out. And we're back. So I took the time to dig out this hole. I also took the time to just clean up the walls because I didn't want to look at all the dirt and andesite and copper and coal in the walls this whole time. I also put half slabs over the whole floor so that no mobs could spawn. I then went and I marked out some holes where the zombies are going to go, and I put 1 block up above just to really help me see where they all are. And now I've just got this hole. I'm going to remove the torch at the end there, and the plan is literally just to let zombies and skeletons and creepers spawn in there, And then I've got my handy dandy bow and some arrows over here. And if it's not a zombie that spawns, I'm just gonna shoot it down. And if it is a zombie, I'm gonna try and lure it into one of these boats, which I'm then going to boat over to one of these holes. And then I can use some of this dirt and I'll just make like a little tube. I might have to break out some trap doors and I'll just trick the zombie into walking straight at me and falling in the hole and getting trapped. From there, I've got a whole stack of name tags. Hopefully I do not need all of these name tags. That would be really embarrassing if I needed all these name tags. But we're going to name tag the zombies from there. We're going to put more blocks over the top of them so that no one can touch them. And then it's just a matter of spawning iron golems and getting the cows over here and leading them together. And that is the rest of the plan. So let's get going on it. I ended up doing a little more digging in this tunnel because it had been like half an hour and nothing was spawning. So I dug and dug, and I dug down a little bit into a cave. And I think I should be able to just lure a zombie or two from here. And I can actually start making some progress on this instead of just sitting here idly doing nothing for way too long. Oh, is he just going to continuously hit me in the boat? I didn't even think about that. Oh, no. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? This is going to be real fun. So let's do a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, and then a little bit of this and this. And just in case, I'm going to stick another boat right here. And then I'm gonna go... Oh, you would pick up the boat, wouldn't you? Well, could anything else go wrong while I'm doing this? Like, my God. So let's... Ow. Let's do that. Now he can't hit me. And we'll name tag him so that he doesn't despawn. How many boats am I going to lose now? I did put a bed over there so I can respawn here. But I'm now worried that I did not bring enough boats. Let's go see if there's another guy over here. There's multiple. Let's see if I can't get 2 boats worth. Right, because yeah, they are both going to go in that boat, aren't they? Dang it. And I have sweeping edge on my sword. Great. Which is probably going to kill both of them. Well, the last guy's coming, so let's just get him in a boat. And we're just going to pray that I don't die before I get to the next spot. Which I guess right here works. Oh, come on. How do I mess this up that badly? Almost. Okay, here's what we're gonna have to do here. He comes over here, we go here, we break the block, and he falls in. Perfect. 2 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15-ish to go? This might become a montage, and hopefully not just a death montage. Hello, zombies. I wish to put you in boats, and then put you in holes. Zombie! I'm gonna go all the way to the far side with this one. Come on. I gotta go. Boom. Come on. Oh, so much easier. Wow. And I've now lost 2 boats out of the 4 zombies that I've captured. Next one is that one. This man seems to be hitting harder. Run away! This corners feel like it might be a bit too cramped, but oh well. I'm not too concerned. Let's go see if we caught anything else in our trap. Well, that works. Oh, come on. Seriously? There we go. That one took way too long. Mr. Zombie. Seems you have a bone to pick with me. Only 2 more? And this is what I was mostly concerned about. Surprised it's only happened once, though. Just 1 more. The last zombie has arrived. Boom. All 16 or so zombies are in place. Okay. Let's grab some iron and pumpkins. Let's just do 24, which means... And now I know that I'll have 24 golems made to go with the 24 leads. And at some point, I actually do need to start growing up a happy ghast, maybe? Am I? Actually, I don't know if I want a happy ghast, but I was thinking a happy ghast to deliver cows from that little hole over to here would be fun. But I don't know if it's going to be easier just to lead them and then replace the wheat. That might be better. Let's see. I do that. And then that. I do need a set of shears. Boom. And I get seeds. Okay. And look at that. Okay. Would it be easier if I brought the cow over in between each one? Sort of having to try and like figure out which ones have been leaded and which ones haven't. It might be. And if we build them in a few different spots, we can even start with them a bit more spread out, which will get the cows a little more spread out. I'm getting a lot of pumpkin seeds. Holy. Wow, that man did not go for any of the nearby ones. I'm impressed. Let's build some over here. I wonder if I put like some fences around in here, if that would help like break it up a little bit. You know, like once they get bored of staring at a zombie, if the iron golems would then start like actually like wandering in a little bit of a path to get to a new one. That can be an experiment for another day, maybe. We'll start with that. And if I want to get more of them, I know where to come. Now I need to get cows from there to there, which doesn't seem like it'd be too hard, but I have no idea how I'm actually going to do this. Let's get to it. I was out doing a bit of mining and exploration, and look at this. I found an egg. Nice. That's all I really wanted to say here. Just thought I'd share that I found a sniffer egg. But we got cows to move, so let's go move some cows. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's been like 15-20 seconds since I recorded the last clip, and look at what I got! A second sniffer egg! Now, I'll be completely honest, I do not know what it takes to breed sniffers, but I assume you need 2 sniffer eggs to start the process, which is incredible that I found 2 of them right next to each other. Also, I got other things I kind of want to show you while I'm over in this area. Really? I just want to show off a couple of tiny little biomes that I just think are adorably tiny. Main base is over there. Anyways, we have a boat that's almost completely beached. But like, look at this. What even is this biome called? Oh, you know what? I bet if I actually like read this stuff, to edit, press F3 and F6. Biome in overlay. And I'm actually going to turn off a lot of stuff now that I am here. Man, that is so much cleaner. The windswept savanna, I believe, is what I'm looking for. See if it changes when I come over here. Oh, windswept savanna. Yeah, so look at this. I have a tiny windswept savanna that's like, I'm going to just estimate 8 chunks and it goes over to there, but I really don't know. It could be even smaller than that. And then we come right over here and you can already see the 2 other biomes. We'll see if you can spot them before I make it to them. But first off, there's like 3 jungle trees over here, and this, it's not even a chunk wide, but like, look at this. There's just this tiny little strip of jungle right here, which I don't even know if that's like a usable amount of jungle. That's that one. And then the last one that I wanted to show off is this tiny little dark oak forest that's like the size of a pale oak forest. That's the name. That's all I wanted to show off. Where's my bed? Okay. Now actually back to cow moving. Okay, I think I figured out how I'm going to be doing this. We're going to take some oak fences. We're going to make a fence gate. And we're going to, let's just do it here. How about extend that out there, extend this side out here. We're just going to make a little fenced off area right here with an oak fence gate there. And then that way, break this, close that. Then I can do this, this, and this, and the cows can come up to here now. And then I can easily just lead them over that hill down to the little pasture I've got for them. No, 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 they're all escaping. So that's the plan. Time to get to work. And in terms of the wheat fields, we're just going to accept that wheat is going to get broken in this process, and then we can go back in later and replant all the wheat. No, you stupid cow. That already looks so much better. One more look. Yeah. Yes, just a little bit of life that it brings is so worthwhile to the place. I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for stopping by and checking out the video. Next episode, I don't know what I'm doing next episode. Maybe a storage system? I'm desperately in need of a proper storage system. Always working on the base. There's probably going to be a little bit of that no matter what we do. I need to figure out a food source because that hole that I just pulled all these guys out of is where I've been getting all of my steak so far. And now I have no cows in there. So maybe it's time to bite the bullet and get a couple of farmer villagers with golden carrot trading set up. I also want to explore making a mob switch specifically for the nether. Because if we go take a look at the nether right now, my nether has a few builds in it, right? Like there's nothing, they're not like huge builds, but this pipeline right here, I'm hoping to make a bunch more of those. And if I'm just like flying around right here, every now and then, like, you know, my nether portal to home base is here. And if I fly right over here, that's spawn. And right over there's the nether fortress where I grind out all the wither skeleton skulls. And just flying from any spot to any spot in there, I'm always worried that like a ghast is just gonna spawn in, take one shot at me, and it's gonna hit this tube that I've made or any of the other tubes I plan on making in the future, and just it's going to create a whole mess that I don't want to deal with. I think it would be kind of fun to make a mob switch for the nether so that I just don't have to worry about mob spawns. So those are like the three main things I have planned for next episode. That being said, of course, there is a very real chance that I am going to be disappearing for a couple of months. Not like anything bad is happening or anything really important is happening either. There's this wonderful little, I'm going to call it a mod, it's not really a mod. It's a multi-game randomizer called Archipelago. And it takes a bunch of different games and takes the items from those games and scatters them throughout all the games you have the mod installed for. And I've been really itching to play it again, and I recently discovered a massive list of like 300 different games that it supports, as opposed to just like the 20 to 30 that are shown on its website. And it's really making me want to play it again. If you don't hear from me for the next 3-4 months, that's what I'm doing. I just really want to play it. It's so much fun. If you've never heard of it or you haven't tried it, would highly recommend. It's such a good time. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.